Okay guys, so in today's video we are going to attempt to use some old metal we have lying around to make some bark buster loop kind of things for the dirt bike. So when I'm out in the woods running through trails that haven't been groomed yet, or exploring the woods looking for new trails, I'm not constantly squeezing my brake lever with the trees. A little tree hits it, squeezes it, or just keep it from pummeling my hands. So I kind of want to try something. So I want to make the metal loops, then I want to try making covers for them out of these old license plates here. So we're going to go dig around through the scrap metal and see what we can find. So I've been working on it for a little while. I'll take you guys through the process of making the other one, but first I wanted to kind of figure it out. And I got this. It looks like it's a bit tighter there than I want. So I think I'm just going to kind of, if I make this bend here tighter, it should pop that out further. So we're going to try that. I've got hose clamps holding it on, and then we'll zip the ends off, round them, come up with some pin to go through the center there to keep it centered. Here I've got this side done. I've got a bolt that goes into the end that holds it in place. I think I'm just going to use a hose clamp to mount it, at least for now. So now I just have to mark this and cut it off, and we'll round over the edges of that and down here. And then once I have the other one made, talk about maybe making guard parts for them out of those. So I'll finish cutting this one, and then I'll go through the process of making the other one. So here's this one done. So we'll get on to the other side. I realize it's gonna have to be a bigger loop than this because we have a brake lever here, but I've got to go for now. And once we're done with both sides, we'll paint this one up. Okay, so we're back at it for the second time, working on the bark busters. This one's finished. It's been sitting outside on the bike for about a weekend, so it kind of rusted before I got to painting it. So this one's gonna be a bit more difficult. It has to be bigger because of the brake. So I didn't take that into account when I made that one, so they're not going to be symmetrical. And then it's going to have to mount differently because the master cylinder's here. So put you guys on the tripod and we'll figure this out. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking this. I have a Sharpie right here somewhere. I should have a Sharpie right here somewhere. Okay, I've got a pencil instead. We're going to mark a little after that. That's where we're going to make our first bend. So then, over here, got a bench vise. Just take this, line up the mark I made. Push that straight, and then we'll just bend it down. And we'll level you guys out. Turn you back this way. So now this should, in theory, fit over the bars. Bend a bit more. Plenty of room to grab the brake. I think we're going to have to slide the brake inward just a bit. There should be a 1/4 inch wrench up here somewhere to do that with. It's right here, and it's not 1/4 inch, it's 8mm. Just loosen those and slide the brake inward like that. And I think it's going to end up mounting to the master cylinder or something. Maybe I'll use this mirror mount here. The handlebars have a mirror mount. I might use that too. So that will go there. And that doesn't rub. Okay, nothing's quite as easy as it ever should be. I've got this figured out. I was making a cut and the blade skipped off the saw, so now I have to open up the doors and get it back on. basically what I ended up doing was it's bent like that, and that's going to come down, and this curve here, I'll show you later. You'll see it better, but that curve conforms to the curve of the brake master cylinder, so we can attach to the bottom metal part of it, like the bar clamp part. And usually the blade does, oh, the blade broke in half. Well, that's fun. I guess I'm gonna figure out what to do. I don't believe we have a spare blade. I will check though. Okay, where's the parts? Got the bike saw. So here's this. The intent was to mount there. The problem with that is, as you squeeze the brake, it comes out. So I'm going to notch this section in here to make clearance for the brake to move. Go. So we did end up finding a new blade for the saw, spare. So now I'll set this up as a. I think I'm gonna have to cut this with an angle grinder. I'll try setting this up as a bandsaw and cutting it, and if that doesn't work, we'll resort to the angle grinder. Okay, we're gonna give this a shot, hoping I can make it work. Problem is to make this straight across cut there. Hoping worked. So we've got it notched. We'll take it over here and see if that notch actually fits. And you might notice the other bark buster is now busted. It's mangled and twisted. I parked the bike in between shots. I went to do something, parked the bike downhill, didn't think about it at all. The kickstand folded, it fell, and smacked down on some pavement, which bent it. So hopefully that clears good. So that cleared. Now we have to make a cut down here on this end, and then we'll drill a hole in the end. Have to cut the center of my grip out, and then we'll polish this up. We'll paint both of them and move from there. So now I need that Sharpie again, and I need a big hose clamp to hold this in place and measure. Hoping this one's big enough. That should hold it in place. So I've got the first coat of red on, but as you probably saw in that video, it's really windy, so I have to get really close, which makes it run. Back up a bit. So I think I'm going to move over towards the shop somewhere where I can block the wind. And that's the red on. So next we'll let that dry so I can tape up. Ooh, stop swinging. Stop swinging, come on. Tape up that line there. And then next is white to probably about there, and then blue. So red, white, and blue, and I might try to make some star stick-on things that I can use, stick on over the blue. So be back whenever these finish drying enough. Okay, so I just got done with the first coat of white. So I think I'm gonna do a second coat of white. I'll do 2 coats of every color, and then a couple coats of clear on top to help protect it from scratching. But there's the coats of white. Looks like I need a little more right in there. It's a little darker, a little soft. Some on that edge there. And then we can unmask this, let the white dry, mask off the whole thing from there up, shoot the blue, let it dry off. The hardware, where did I leave it? It's up here. I think I want to paint the heads of the bolts. So now the question is, do I do them blue, like the material that they're going to be up against, or do I do a different color as like an accent? I think I'm going to do them blue, or maybe do a white, so it's like a white stud sticking out of the end. That might be what I'll do. I'll think about that while this dries, and then I'll set up a box I can jab these things into and paint them on. So I decided to do them blue to match the ends they're going to be going into. So I'll just hit these real quick. I don't want to get it too heavy. Because I do need to be able to actually get a wrench on them. Call that good. Maybe give them a second coat if they need it. Okay, I unwrapped this one after giving it another coat. I like how these are going to come out. That's a little thin there on the red, but that's okay. This one I gave another shot, so it's still masked. So now I just got to wait for that red to dry so I can mask from there all the way up. And we'll shoot it blue. And I messed up painting those, because those don't go into blue. Those go into red. I'll see how the blue looks sticking out, I guess. And then maybe end up repainting those guys red, because I wasn't thinking when I sprayed them. Okay guys, so here's the finished product bolted onto the bike. We got the one on this side. I'm gonna do something different. I use this inner tube as a spacer to space it out because the brake lever was rubbing on it. Because I didn't think about the throttle tube is smaller on the inside than the inner diameter of the handlebars. So I'm either gonna use something and trim the throttle tube back if I can. I'm not sure if that will mess with it. So that can sit in all the way and then it won't rub, but you can see where it rubbed down there. And then this one just bolts right on. Hopefully I don't drop the bike and bend them up again. But yeah, that is the homemade bark busters.